Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Monday edition of Source16 News. I'm Eddie Owen. Thanks for joining us. Well, big news out of Washington, D.C. last night. Osama bin Laden, the reported mastermind behind the worst terrorist attacks on American soil ever, is dead. The al-Qaeda leader was killed by U.S. forces in Pakistan, along with 4 others at his compound. One of them was reportedly bin Laden's adult son. Military officials say bin Laden's body was later buried at sea. Now, after hearing news reports of bin Laden's death, Senator Rand Paul issued a statement saying, "I commend our troops, the intelligence community, and the military leaders involved in both the administrations of Presidents George W. Bush and Barack Obama for their perseverance and courage in pursuit of this most grievous enemy of the United States of America." Meanwhile, 1st District Congressman Ed Whitfield of Hopkinsville issued the following statement today. "It is not an understatement to say that the death of one of the most notorious perpetrators of terrorism across the world, Osama bin Laden, is a triumph for the world and an indisputable victory in the war on terrorism." He went on to say many of America's men and women in uniform, including many of those from Fort Campbell, have served in this mission, and we honor their service and remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in execution of this mission. And U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell made the following remarks on the Senate floor today regarding the successful operation to which bin Laden was found in Pakistan and killed. He said, "Today, Americans and all who long for justice woke to the news nearly 10 years after the U.S. set out to kill or capture Osama bin Laden. Justice has been done." He went on to say the man who orchestrated the 9/11 attacks and who reveled in the horror of that day is dead. And the last thing bin Laden saw on this earth was a small team of Americans who shot him. Now, unconfirmed reports indicate Fort Campbell's 160th Special Operations Aviation Group may have assisted a Navy SEALs team in the death of Osama bin Laden. Source16 contacted the U.S. Army's Special Operations Command, but Army officials would neither confirm nor deny that Fort Campbell troops were involved in connection to bin Laden's death. Well, 2 of 6 local youths charged in the July 2009 beating death of a Hopkinsville man accepted plea deals offered by the Commonwealth today in Christian County Circuit Court. Under the plea deal, Tavian Spencer, who was originally charged with murder and tampering with physical evidence, pled guilty to tampering with physical evidence and had his murder charge amended down to second-degree murder for a 15-year sentence to run consecutively. As part of the deal, Spencer may be required to testify against one of his co-defendants, Cortez Lynch, who's scheduled to go on trial June 27th and 28th. He was also ordered to speak to area teens about anti-violence and gangs at 10 different speaking engagements and have a mental evaluation conducted before his final sentencing. Meanwhile, Jermon Childs also appeared in court today and pled guilty to criminal mischief and had his murder charge amended to second-degree manslaughter for a 15-year sentence to run consecutively. Judge John Atkins also allowed the 2 males, who are both under house arrest and outfitted with ankle monitoring devices, to attend weekly church services with their families. Spencer and Childs, along with 3 other co-defendants, LaKegel Kendrick, Jeremy Denson, and Devontae Hampton, will be formally sentenced July 12. Now, as we previously reported, the 6 males are charged with murdering 41-year-old John Lyle on July 23, 2009, who was reportedly a drug informant. Evacuation efforts are underway in Fulton County due to flooding conditions. Now, with the current water level projections and at the recommendation from the Corps of Engineers, Transportation Cabinet engineers are closing Kentucky 94 in Fulton County at the Kentucky-Tennessee state line. Spokesman Keith Todd said this is from milepoint 0 to the dip at the 11-mile marker. He reports the county has begun evacuation procedures for all of the homes located in the lower bottom area, and highway crews are placing road-closed barricades. The evacuation includes West City of Hickman and the lower bottoms. Meanwhile, some local Kentucky Baptist chainsaw teams are on their way to assist with disaster recovery in Alabama. 7 teams, including volunteers from Cadiz and Bennett, Benton are traveling to Dutton, Alabama to help with last week's devastating tornadoes. The volunteers, including 2 mobile shower units, will operate from Happy Home Baptist Church in Henniger, Alabama. Kentucky is just one of several state Baptist conventions responding to meet the needs following the storms that left over 300 people dead. Donations to assist with this and other disaster responses can be made at KentuckyBaptist.org/DR. And Kentucky State Police Post 1 in Mayfield is cracking down on anyone who disregards traffic barriers due to flooding. State police say motorists who disobey the devices are putting their lives at risk, as well as the emergency personnel charged with rescuing them. Anyone found to be disregarding the measures are in violation of the law, and state police say you will be cited. Now, if barriers are not in place, state police strongly urge motorists to not travel through any water-covered road and says motorists should develop a contingency plan in the event they cannot make it back to their residence. Meanwhile, numerous roads around the viewing area are closed due to flooding, and motorists need to use extreme caution when you are traveling. Another New Wave Communications office in western Kentucky has been robbed. Although details have not been released by Fulton Police, New Wave Communications at 509 Broadway in South Fulton was reportedly robbed at gunpoint around 10 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, Benton Police Department Chief Tracy Watwood told Source16 this afternoon that the man who robbed New Wave Communications on West 15th Street in Benton at knife point last week is in jail after he was arrested in Paducah in connection to another robbery. He said they are awaiting charges to be lodged against the man in Paducah before charging him in Marshall County. Police reported that the man walked into New Wave Communications at 315 West 15th Street in Benton Thursday afternoon and demanded money with a knife. The man left the store with an undisclosed amount of money and a 42-inch television and then fled the scene in a car. A Calvert City man was arrested by the Marshall County Sheriff's Department Saturday after an alleged break-in at a residence. Police were dispatched to Retirement Circle in Calvert City in reference to a subject breaking into a house. Now, according to police, the burglar chased and hit the victim inside the residence and destroyed the interior of the home. 29-year-old Wayne Lassiter of Calvert City was arrested and charged with first-degree burglary, second-degree criminal mischief, and fourth-degree assault. He was lodged in the Marshall County Detention Center. 2 Hopkinsville men were charged with drug trafficking when police reportedly found about 63 grams of cocaine during a traffic stop Friday night. Hopkinsville police arrested and charged 21-year-old Eric Moore and 26-year-old Antonio Ware with tampering with physical evidence. Moore was also charged with first-degree facilitation to trafficking controlled substances, cocaine, while Ware was charged with first-degree trafficking a controlled substance, cocaine. Police say that Moore was pulled over in the McDonald's parking lot on North Drive around 11:30 Friday night and issued a written warning for careless driving. Now, during the stop, a canine unit hit on the vehicle, which resulted in police finding a large amount of cocaine concealed in a blue rubber glove inside a McDonald's cup and food bag. Police say the combined estimated weight of the cocaine was around 63 grams. Police also seized $15 in Moore's possession, $120 in cash from Ware. Both men were lodged in the Christian County Jail. Kentucky State Police collected over 300 pounds of prescription drugs over the weekend. During a national Take Back initiative, KSP reports the agency collected 309 pounds of prescription drugs from individuals who wanted to discard their unwanted medications. The program was organized by the Drug Enforcement Administration and is intended to give people the chance to dispose of their unwanted medications in a safe and convenient way. The KSP drop-off sites accounted for 16 of the 5,300 sites across the nation that participated in the initiative. According to state police, 389 pounds of prescription drugs were collected during the fall 2010's Take Back initiative. For area residents who want to report suspicious drug activity, contact KSP's toll-free hotline at 1-800-367-3847. School districts Fulton and Graves County, along with Murray Independent Schools, were among several Kentucky schools to set a new education record. Kentucky teachers and principals who participated in similar surveys, like Kentucky's Teaching, Empowering, and Leading Kentucky Survey, otherwise known as TEL, set a new record for first-time response rates. According to the nonprofit organization New Teacher Center, Kentucky's overall response rate was at 80.2%, with 91% of Kentucky schools meeting the minimum 50% response rate. Kentucky Education Commissioner Terry Holliday says he is extremely pleased with the response rates. Holliday adds the value of the survey lies in the participants' honest evaluation of their teaching conditions. For learning in every classroom, we must measure those conditions. Mississippi previously held the highest participation record with 67% participation. Well, the Todd Papool for Attorney General campaign announced today that their fundraising period got a strong boost from an event in Madisonville recently. The event, headlined by U.S. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell, grossed over $100,000. Papool thanked Senator McConnell for his help in the campaign boost, saying, "I'm proud to have the support of Senator McConnell, who has served Kentucky so well. Having his support in this race is truly humbling and tremendously helpful as we work to assemble a winning effort this fall." Well, here's a look at some upcoming chamber events brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Community Vision Plan. One of the chamber's newest members, Pile Casket and Vault Company, will host a ribbon cutting tomorrow morning at 11:30 at 601 South Virginia Street in downtown Hopkinsville. Christian County Cares 2015 is proud to bring Chick-fil-A's LeaderCast to Christian County for the first time, where you'll hear from 11 of the world's most respected voices on leadership. The Leaders Cast will be held Friday from 7 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. at the Restoration House on Fort Campbell Boulevard. If you'd like more information on that, contact Jeremy Stevenson at 270-885-9096. And the Alpha Alternative's 20th annual fundraising banquet, 20 Years of Making a Difference, will be held Monday evening, May 9th from 6 until 8 at James E. Bruce Convention Center. Seating begins at 5:30. If you'd like to be a corporate sponsor to help cover some of the banquet expenses so all proceeds from the night can go directly to Alpha's programs, call 270-885-3820. These chamber events are brought to you by the Hopkinsville Christian County Vision Plan. Well, here's your numbers. Tuesday's Mega Millions jackpot's $51 million. Wednesday's Powerball jackpot is $36 million.